Okay, so we're going to start on our next kit, and this is a photo that I took of, it was a lovely street in Palma on the island of Mallorca, and this was going up to the church, and it was just, the light was lovely, and I thought that would make a great painting, and I thought especially for Paintbox, so I'm going to show you how to do this today. You'll notice it's already got grid lines on your photo in your box. I mean, we're going to do the gridding up today because I think that's going to work, and it'll test your drawing skills a little bit as well and give you practice with that. But I will take you through it step by step. But what we're going to do first is we're actually going to make our canvas board. Before we start drawing, we're going to make it orange. Now you might think, why on earth would you do that? And it's called an underpainting. So what we're going to do is, it's kind of, you know, I really don't like working on a white canvas. I think that's one of the things that artists agree on sometimes. It's just to get a colour on there. But the next thing is as well, is that actually it gives a warm influence. It influences your colours over the top. And this is supposed to be a lovely, bright, warm day. So I thought I'd put an orange underneath. I put an orange on quite a lot of landscapes actually as a background. And then we sketch over the top. Okay, so today we're using, in your kit you've got Dale Arowney System 3 acrylics, which I find is a really good starter kit. And then you've also got a sponge, all right, to apply it with. What I would do is mix up your colours. So you probably don't even need as much as that. Now then, you need mainly yellow to make this orange and some red. So it's kind of a yellowy orange rather than a red orange. So all you need is, like I say, mainly yellow, like that. Mainly yellow. I'm going to add a touch of red. So it really is quite a vibrant orange. Okay, I'm going to add just a little touch of water to that as well. Alright, so mix it up there. And then what we're going to do is, with your sponge, you're going to apply it on. So I've realised I'm going to have to mix up all of this, really. Okay, now the problem with sponges is it soaks in. So I'll add a bit more water. That's better. And we're just going to cover the whole thing. So we're going to cover the whole board, and then we're going to wait for that to dry. A little bit more water on the sponge, like that. And this is all going to be an acrylic painting, remember. It's all done in stages. So if you like, this is our first layer. So just put one coat all over it, and because they're acrylics, it's not going to take long to dry. And then you can put your palette to one side for a moment, and you will need your pencil and ruler ready for the next stage. So I'm just going to leave that to dry for a moment, a few minutes, and then I'm going to come back to it. Okay, so we're going to do our grid now. Now this measures 4x4, so you see better on the back. So we've got 16 sections. So because it's quite a detailed picture, we're going to just draw in all of the main bits. We're not worried about little details or on the shutters and things like that. We're just going to draw in all of the main areas. So first of all, I need to divide my canvas board into 4x4, which is the same. So this, I know that this is a 10x12 board. So the measurements are easy. So we've got 2.5. I'll put a mark. 5, 2.5, and I'm going to do the same down here as well. So I know that I'm not going to have, you know, I'm not going to have my lines going all over the place. They're going to be accurate. This way it measures 12, so we're going to do 6, 3 and 9, and the same there. So let's have a look. So we've got 3, 6 and 9. And what I find as well is this size board is actually standard size board, so 10 by 12, and you can get really nice frames to fit exactly. And of course, when you frame in acrylic, you don't need glass in the frame. So there we go. We're gonna just take our time. We're gonna draw it up. That's our first section, and then we're gonna start painting. And the orange is nice because sometimes you'll see little hints of orange underneath. And then finally, when it's all done, we're going to varnish it as well. I'll show you how to varnish. Okay, so let's have a look then. So I'm going to break this up. So just on that, if you can isolate that if you want. So we've just got our very first section there, which is just in there. You can start and see where shapes come in. So I sometimes do a dot to dot thing. So that, I would say, comes up to about there, maybe not as much, and comes up at a slant. Now you can measure that as well if you want to, you know, like an angle. So just judge as to whether that's over halfway or whether it's nearly halfway. I'm going to say about there. We've then got a section up from that, so I'm going to put that in, and that's kind of the same angle. Now that comes down to about there. Excuse me a minute, I am, as you can probably hear, full of cold, which is just great, summer cold. So I'm just going to draw that in. Okay, and like I say, there's another, so this angle is the same as that one. And then it comes out and there's a ledge. So this ledge comes out like that. Excuse me. Yeah, like that. And then this angle, we can almost measure that if you like. Yeah, that's kind of a little bit wider there now. This is what perspective does. Things go a little bit wider, so you have to just kind of go with it, follow the grid, because that's what's going to get you the most accurate results, you know. And sometimes, you know, I'll paint outside, or on plein air, as it's called, and yeah, I'm just talking through this, and I'll go straight in with a brush, and it's so lovely to do that. But then sometimes it, you know, for a more accurate result, I still grid up with my landscapes. So I don't always just go straight in with paint. Sometimes it's nice though, go straight in. Right, so that'll do for that. I'm not bothered about all these shutter lines. So my next section, I'm going to leave that open, that one open, so I can see what the difference is. Ah, I see. So then it starts to make sense. So then we've got this big shutter going all the way to the top, to the bottom, something like that. And then we've got this shutter, yeah, coming across there. It's not quite halfway, so I'll just block that in. So sometimes I use a rule, sometimes I don't. Like that. And then, yeah, we've got another angle here. And like I say, this is what perspective does, it kind of, so it all goes out like that. Like that. And I've got a little bit in there. So this is of, like I say, a lovely street in Palma. We went on our holidays last year. Lovely, lovely place, I'd recommend it. So, this roof of this building, the angle comes down a bit like that. And then we've got a window with shutters. Now even that's at a slight angle, it's not quite straight. So I'm just going to put it at a slight angle like that. Oh, and it comes nearly all the way down, and that line goes to there. This is going to be so nice to paint it, especially putting white on a colour is so satisfying. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, that shutter, oh, is on the line with that actually. Yep, so I'll do that. That's an angle as well, coming up. So it's nice just to take time at this stage. Right, now then, I need to come up there. Right, next. And sometimes, like I say, one of the easiest things you can do with drawing is, excuse me, I'm just going to draw with that shutter, is, you know, you can get trace down, you can get various methods where you can actually trace the image down, and hey, why not, you know, if it's all about the painting, yeah, go for it. Anything that helps, I think. Especially if it's just going to get you started in painting. Right, I've got another line coming down there. Okay, now this bit, is this half? It's not quite halfway. So I would say that comes down to about there. And then just this little bit is about halfway. And then we've got the next build bit. So we've got like that. And that angle comes over like this. And it's so enjoyable using acrylics and layering up, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, painting, I think, is like a series of layers. And it's so enjoyable to do. Such a relaxing thing to do as well. Apart from if you get it wrong, where I think I've just got this wrong. No, but I'll work it out later. So I've got this bit, I think it's like, I think it's another drain pipe actually. And then we'll go on to our last bit. Now I'm not bothered about all of this. What I'll do is I'll just do where the shape is. Yeah, that will do. And then I've got two shutters. I've got these shutters that are open. So that comes down to about there. So you can just make judgments yourself. And just take your time. So this one goes over halfway, notice. Yeah. Like that. And then that angle, I'm just going to draw it. Yeah, it's quite steep, that angle. Excuse me. Like so. And that line comes right down to there. Measure that angle again. Yeah, and then I've got a shadow. Okay, so this all makes sense when we go on to the next bit. I've got the other shutter in there. I'm just going to bring that down. And then this just comes out here. Okay. Okay, so let's go on to the next bit. And I'll keep that open actually so I can see where it all joins on. So we've got this bit comes down, which is, oh yeah, this shutter. I'll bring that down. It just forms this square here. This ledge comes out. I hope you can see. All my lines. Right, that line actually comes right down the whole thing. So sometimes when you're on this stage, you're almost forgetting what it actually is, and you're just looking at shapes. It does make it easier. So we've got underneath that ledge there. That comes down as well, probably more like that. Now if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter, just rub it out. So that comes No, that actually stays like that. So we've got this line, yeah, that comes down some sort of wiring, I think. So I'll just put that line in, and we've got this just comes over. I just missed that, and that line, it's just the top of this. I think it's either a window or a doorway. Yeah, and it actually goes right almost into that corner. There's a bit of an angle on that. Yeah, now I'll do the shadows of that later on, because I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. So we've got this shutter, comes all the way down, like that. And then it's a little shutter there. So it must be where they're open. Yeah. So we'll ignore the plant, we'll ignore all that doesn't matter. But we have got an angle there now for our ledge. And that comes out like that. Okay. Let's have a look. Where else? So we've got this window in here. Oh, I see. So that's kind of on the same line as that one. So I'm going to draw that coming down. Yep. Like, check that angle. Yeah, that's not bad. So it's going to be kind of a bit like that. We've got another window up, and I think it's directly underneath there, it looks like. Yep, so I've got this little, like a yellow line, and I'm just going to draw that because it does definitely go into the next box. Yep, like that, and I've got this lantern. I'm just going to jot that in for now. I don't need that to be mega detailed. We'll do all of that later on. So there's a window there. It follows this angle. Yep, and this light line goes down there. There's quite a lot of working out on this. I quite like, you know, take my time getting the drawing right. There's something really satisfying about doing your own drawing and getting it right. Now then, this we've got, is that on that line? No, it's actually in the next bit, so I'm going to ignore it. Yeah, there's something coming out here, there's a little bit of an angle. So I'll put that in. Oh, I've missed out this window. So I shall, that's also on the same line as these, so you can see that. And that's just got a little green shutter in there as well. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with this, and if you do the same, and yeah, till it's all covered. No need to worry about the grid lines, remember, because we're going to paint over it anyway. I'm eager to get onto the painting now. Okay. This is the second arch. Right, so then we've got this garagey thing. Okay, right. And then, yeah, that's the edge of it. The line comes across. And we've got this black. This black line actually goes right to the top, all the way through. So we'll keep that in. And that comes down. And of course we can't see the rest because we've got these figures. I'm going to put the figures in last. Let's have a look. I just need to... Yeah, so this ledge comes out. And there's a lighter bit there. And that. Yeah. And then we've got this. Ah, right, I see. And then it's quite a sharp angle actually. Yeah. And that's about it, because then I'm going to plot these figures in. So what I'm going to do is, just in this section here, we've got these two figures. Now his head, I'm just going to keep it really simple. I'm just going to put a round for his head. I'm going to go across his back. His arm comes out. Let's look at where the waist goes, probably about halfway on that square. Probably about there. So I'll just block that in as a shape. His shorts, he's got his shorts there. Yeah. And then we've got his leg, a little bit of an angle. So I'm literally doing a stigma. Yeah, now they are holding hands, so there's her arm. Now her head on that square, she's got it turned, but her head is lower down than him, she's shorter than him. She's got her head turned so we can see this ponytail. And we've just got this white t-shirt, yeah, and her arm is a bit more of an angle than that. We've got another arm, looks like her phone or something. So we've got a top there, shorts, yeah, there's his shorts if you like, shorter shorts, and then the leg comes down about there. And that's all I'm going to put in for the figures. So that's it now. That's ready to paint. So I'm going to talk about that next. Right, good morning everybody. So I'm going to start now. I've got my drawing done, and I'm going to start painting today. I'm going to start with the first bit of painting. So I've got my drawing done. I've got my paints. We're using Dale Ramney System 3, which is a good start to paint, to be honest. Kind of heaviness, and they're a good thick paint to use. So you get a starter kit in your kit, which has the following colours. So it has your primaries, your red, yellow and blue, which is ultramarine blue, cadmium yellow and cadmium red, quite a warm red. And then we've got burnt umber, we've got titanium white, and we've got an emerald green. Okay, so we haven't got a black, because actually we can make a black with just those colours, and there is no actual black on there, although it looks very dark. In some places we can probably make that with a brown and a blue. So I've got a little bit of water, a little bit of tissue to dab it on, and I've got my two brushes, my medium brushes. I've got my square brush, which is great because it allows you to just drag colours down. You can use it on its side for a finer line. So I suppose my preferred brush of choice is a a flat brush. Okay, so when we work with acrylics, we're going to go darks to lights. So I'm going to look, if I was going to squint at that and think, right, where are the darkest parts? I'd probably go for there, garage, door, figures, and this bit. So I'm going to start with those colours, okay? I mean, some artists just start, in one area and then just carry on down. Some artists do all of the same colours first. And it is entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you. But I sometimes think if you've already got that colour mixed, like for those shutters there, you might as well use it for those there and there and there, and block it in. So at this stage we're still blocking in. So I'm going to mix up this dark green. So I'm going to take out a little bit of blue. Now to make colours transparent, opaque rather, you add a little bit of white. Just add in a tiny bit of white. Will make your colours opaque. Now I know this is like a very dark green, these shutters, but I'm not going to straight away plump for green, which sounds strange. Blue and yellow make a really good green, so I'm going to use those first. And maybe just add a bit of that green just to make it even more emeraldy in colour. So what I sometimes do is I will go like that with my colour and check it. Now I can see it needs to be darker. I'm actually going to add some red and some burnt umber. Now I've added too much. So a little bit more blue, a little bit more yellow. And that's kind of a really dark. That's not bad, but probably needs to be a little bit more green, a little bit more blue. So in there, I'm just going to start and I'm just going to go around here. I'm just going to block that in. Yeah, now that comes up there. Sorry, I'll just get my glasses on. And like I say, you can use your brush. Look at that, it's a really nice line. And try and get rid of all these little bits. Now, the nice thing about an orange background is it will give a certain tone underneath your painting, but also it's quite nice to just leave some bits. Just for the orange showing. So right up to there. Yeah. Okay, so that's that bit. So I'm just quite quickly blocking it in. I've got this shutter here. Blocking as well. So just experimenting with using your brush. Rest your little finger on the board. It'll just get a much finer line, and a much more steady line. If you're not very steady, sometimes what we do is we use a mile stick. Now a mile stick, I'll just demonstrate. A mile stick is a great big stick with a ball on the end. And if you're doing for great big paintings, what you do is you put your mile stick on. I'll just show you this bit in here. Put your mile stick on, and it allows you to just rest on it, and you won't be, rather than trying to get it right, it allows you to just rest on it and get a much better line. Now you can buy mile sticks, or I know people who've made them themselves and made them a really good job actually. Just with a bit of stick and a ball on the end, just some fabric or something. So I'm going to go, I'm going to go this ledge here, yeah, and then there's this like triangle-y thing. Like that. Yep. And then I've got I'm going to add a bit of green to this bit because it looks a bit more green. This bit, and mile sticks, I would say I use them mainly for oils, because of course oils don't dry straight away. So you're actually, if you're working on a wet, you don't want to lean on a wet area. So it just lifts your hand off. You're not doing that. But of course acrylics are lovely because they dry straight away, and that's the lovely thing about acrylics. Now if you don't want it to dry straight away, you can get these things called, I think they're called a retarder. And if you mix them in your acrylics, they will make them last longer. They won't dry as quick. So, but I quite like them drying quick, because then I can carry on building up. Right, so that's that there. I'll block that in. I'm going to actually do these bits as well. So I'm just going to use that brush underneath that lamp there. Look at the way I'm using the brush, I'm just dragging it down. Same with this little shutter. And, oh, this one in here. Because that is quite dark compared to those. So I'll just block that in. Yeah. Now then, there's a sign there that is quite dark, so I'm actually just going to put that in. And there is a green, but it's more like a yellowy green, so I'm going to add, this is just for this garage bit. If you look close, it is a yellow green, olivey green. Now then, there are some figures, some other figures over there, but what we'll do is we'll just put those in, like a suggestion of them with paint later on. So painting, it's really, you know, this sort of painting is really enjoyable. It's really, take your time, follow the pattern, you can't go wrong. Okay, I'm just, for this bit, this one looks a little bit dark, so I'm going to have brown and blue, which makes it really quite dark. And I'm just going to block that in. Yeah, that's about as dark as we want to go. Load a bit more paint on. Oh, it goes right the way down. All the way down, right, like that. A little bit of an angle there. Okay. Right. So then I'm actually going to just block in, while I've got this, I'm going to block in her hair. Now she's got this ponytail, so I'm just going to block that in. Block this in. It's either like a backpack or dungarees, I can't work out what actually it is. Like that. And I'm going to do the same with his head and his top. Yeah, so this, you know, we're not wanting absolute, you know, we're not going to kill ourselves over exact details, we just want to look the shapes, we just want it to look like the shapes. Yeah, that's his shorts. So, oh, there's a bit there, I can just see that now, which is really dark. Okay. Those areas are, oh, forgot my garage. Now then, I'm going to add more brown to that. Just darken up with a bit of blue. So, you know, colour mixing, some of my students have said, but exactly what proportions do you add? To be honest, I don't. I'm never that slavish to colour mixing. And I know when you're starting off, sometimes it's helpful to have that. But I think, you know, just try and feel your way with this. And the more practice you get, the better you're going to be at colour mixing. A good tip as well is to maybe have a spare bit of board or something. Or a spare bit of paper even. And just paint it on there. But so this is what I do, I just check like that. And think, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I don't need to wash my water just yet, although it's getting a little bit mucky. I'm going to go on to my next kind of lightest. So what I'm going to go on to is I'm going to block in these shutters. So a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue, which makes the green. Now for me, that's too yellowy green, so I'm going to add more blue, that's better. And I'm just going to check that. That's not bad. Still a bit more blue. Really mix your colours on there. And add a bit of white. So, let me just check this. Yeah, it's still too yellowy. So just keep going till you're happy with the colour, you know. There we go, so I've added a little bit more. That's better. Right, so I'm now going to add, now I'm not adding any little lines or anything else yet. I am just blocking it in. See, it's lovely painting, when you get to the lighter colours, it's lovely painting the lighter colours on this background, this orange background. I think I've actually gone a little bit too light there. Yeah, that's better. Because remember, I'm going to put some lights on there. Right. So like that. I'll lock this bit in. As you can see that the orange underneath really warms it up. Shut there, and then it's an open shutter. Yep. Yep, another one there, because I'm going to put the lighter lines on later. I'm going to use our fine brush. Okay. Right, this bit then, I would say is a little bit more this colour. So you can always, if you've mixed a colour before, you can always come back to it. Even though it's not quite right for one thing. Yeah, it's a little bit more yellowy. And then I've got that in there. But how satisfying, I know there's loads of paint by numbers kits out there and everything, you know, but how satisfying is it to do your own painting from scratch with a drawing, you know. I think there's something around like this when I was a teenager and, you know, desperate to learn how to paint, but I didn't have a clue. My art teacher, you know, I hear a lot of people say, oh, I didn't have a very good art. Well, I had a great art teacher, but she didn't focus a lot of time on painting, and that's something that I really, really wanted to learn. And of course, we didn't have a YouTube. Which is just brilliant nowadays, you know, you just go on and learn anything, can't you? So, if I'd have had something like this to teach me how to paint, just step by step, wow, I'd have loved it, I'd absolutely loved it. Now then, I'm going to change my water, because I'm going to start on this yellow ochre area, and get the sense of that going in. Okay. Okay, so I've changed my water. Excuse me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making this some of the darker areas of yellow ochre. So I'm going to take a bit of white out. Add some yellow. God, I've had a cold lately. Excuse me. I'm going to add some red. Oh, yellow. More red, so it makes like an orangey. And I'm going to add some blue to tone it down. Let me just check, yeah, that's far too light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some brown to that. More red. So sometimes it does take a while getting the right colour, but it's worth it, it's worth it. If you think it's a bit too yellowy, add the cooler colour, still not dark enough. What I'm going to do, and rather than mix up whole vats of paint and think, oh, that's not quite right, let's start again, just keep adding to your colour. Now to me, that is not too bad. I think it needs to be a little bit darker. So I've mixed in that now. And it's just trial and error really. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to mix that in there. So this is like the underside of a shelf. I actually think it does need to be a little bit darker than that. So I'm going to add in a bit more. So although I started off with this, I can use this. Probably there. Gone over my line a bit there, but it's okay. I'll get it back. Right, so that's that. Underneath this ledge is the same. So now as things go into the distance, they get lighter. So as things go away from you, they get lighter and they start to fade a bit, like the details fade. So painting really is about an illusion. It's creating that sort of illusion. I'm going to check this. That's not bad for that arch, so I'm going to use that while I've got it. I must remember to not lean over my painting. Yeah, like that. I'm not sure about that arch yet. I think there's a little bit dark at the top. So I'll just put a little bit in. Right. There's another ledge there. Yeah, so I'll just put a little bit of that in. So it starts to bring it down like that. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go much more yellowy. And let's just see what that's spot on there. So I'm just going to put that under there. Yeah. Now, this is like a wire thing, so all of this is like this golden, lovely ochre, so I'm going to add in a little bit more of that. Yeah, that's okay. So I might need to add some more yellow, so I'm not too faded. Yeah, and I can paint those details, those wire details over the top. Right, now it's a little bit darker under there, so I'll just carry on with this light for now. Need some more of this colour actually. Remember we used yellow, a little bit of red to warm that up. That's not bad. Oh, it's quite light on that shelf there, or ledge. Right, there's kind of a lighter bit there. Let me just check that. A little bit dark, so I'll add the dark bit. But a little bit of a different shade to that one. I'm just going to block that in. And then this one, I'm actually going to put in as darker, and then we're going to put in some lights over the top later on where these, I don't know if it's like windows or, oh dear me, windows or shutters or something. But if you go something over something like that, doesn't matter, because you can just paint over it again. So we've got blue and brown. It's not making it quite dark enough, but we can just take it up there. Right, so now you can just keep moving around your paint. We've got this shadow in here. Now for this one, I'm actually going to use my round brush because I need a thinner point, if you like. No, it needs to be darker than that. It's not quite dark enough, but I'll come back to that. Right, so it starts to get a little bit of a fresher yellow ochre there, so I'm going to add yellow, white again, a little touch of red, just to warm it up. Yeah, that's not bad. So just check again against your painting. Yeah, and try and keep your brush strokes in keeping with the painting. So, you know, if the wall is going down, have your brush stroke going down. Oh, there's a light bit there. Now, all these things will help you make your painting. Oops, I've gone a bit off there, but it's not too bad. A little bit of lead there. Okay. So this in here is quite dark, so I'm just going to actually add a bit of dark. I'm not going to blend it in or anything, I'm just going to paint it where it is. So a nice chunky brush strokes. It's dark under there. Yep, so I'll just have a little bit of right. That's not bad. And then we've got dark under here. Under this ledge. Yep, and then it's lighter yellow ochre. So really we're just working on, you know, just this one bit of the painting. Just block it all in. Nice thick paint. If you like the orange, like I said, leave some bits undone. It's nice to have it peeking out every now and then. And take that right down there. And there's a little bit which comes down there. Okay. Now this bit at the bottom is a little bit more, I would say, green. So I'm going to add a little bit more blue. I'll add a tiny bit of that green. Yeah. It's definitely green. Yeah, that's a nice colour. So like that, and a little bit lighter again there. And then there's some, you know, we're going dark to light, so we're going to start on this side next. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start on this side now. So while I've got these lovely ochre paints, I think it needs a bit more though. White, yellow, got a touch of blue in there, red. So look, need a bit blue just to calm it all down. I'm going to add a little bit of brown, a little bit of burnt umber in there. Let's have a look. So I can now start, I think that, yeah, got this colour going in here. This side's lighter than this side actually. I think you can see that. I'm just going to put these darks in first. While you're painting, you're always making decisions as to, do we do this bit, do we do that bit, right? Yep, so we've got this ledge here. And we've got this. And sometimes I've got my paint too thick on my brush here. Yep, I'm going to add a little bit more yellow because it's gone a little bit strange colour. I've got this shadow in here, but I'm actually just going to paint the whole thingy and then paint the shadow over the top once it's dry. So I've got this dark here, got dark in there. Oh, I've gone too much for white there, but not to worry. Right, I'm going to mix up this kind of creamy, ochre-y colour. So I'll mix that in here. Sometimes when my palette's getting into an absolute mess. I don't think it matters. Now I'm not adding a load of water here. More white. Because you still want the colours to be thick. So I'll just see what that looks like. Oh, that's not bad. Now I'm going to put this drain pipe over the top. Yeah, like that. And then got these bits coming down, so I'm actually going to block that in there. Coming right down to that shutter. Oh, that's quite a dark line, I forgot about that. But it's okay. Yeah, I'm actually going to block all of that in. Straight down there. Using a smaller brush now, just for this bit in the middle. Right, this colour to me looks slightly darker than that, so let me just check what that's not bad. So I'm going to paint that in. Just while I'm here, and you look and you think, oh, that's not bad for that one. Just block that in. Right, and then there's a darker colour in there. Yep, is that your shadow? Now we're going to put some really dark shadow over there later on. Excuse me here. I've got a shadow in here. It's not bad. So with acrylics we tend to work from dark to light. And different to watercolour we work from light to dark. Okay, I'm just going to hold that one and go and get a drink of water. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with this yellow ochre colour. I want all that side in, and it goes from dark to light. So I'm going to start with the darkest. A little touch of white, remember, yellow, red, next quite an orangey. Tone it down with a little touch of blue. If it goes green, you've gone too far. So that's not bad, maybe a little bit dark, so I'll just add a little bit of umber. Okay, so I'm going to start just blocking in these. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit more yellow, actually, it's a little bit brighter than that. I can't wait to get onto the light areas because that's really going to lift the whole painting. Yeah, so I'll block that in. See how the orange is giving it a nice warm undertone. I'm actually going to block that in as well, and here. Oh, mix something else in there now. Like that. Underneath here. Maybe a little bit lighter. Just adding a slight touch of white makes massive difference. Okay. Okay, then we've got an obviously lighter area there, so I'm going to make that now. A little bit of, yep. There's that ledge, there's a bit there. A bit on that ledge there. Oh, I can hear a horse in the background. Right, this cream in here, I'm going to block it all in. Yep, like that. And then I've got cream bit here. So at this stage we're going blocking in, dark to light, and then we're going to start on detail with our fine brush. There we go. What else have we got? This is like, so I would say that's a little bit more yellow, so excuse me, so we'll add a little bit more yellow in there. Yeah, it just creates that shadow and goes around this side and then gets lighter again. I absolutely love it when you start to put the lighter bit on. So I'll just put a little bit lighter in there. Just when you see your painting come to life and you think, wow, I'm doing that. Okay, what next? I'm going to mix in this lighter area. But I need to make sure I'm not too light because these need to be really light. So white, yellow, red into there. That might be a little bit, yeah, a little bit dark. We'll just make it a little bit lighter. Yeah. Yeah, that comes right down, all the way down to that light ledge. And then I get a little bit darker in here. Now these bits we're going to put in, I'm going to use this yellow ochre now. Now luckily my paint's quite wet still. So I'm actually going to block that bit in. So many, you'd think, you know, some of it looks like all one colour, but there's so many shades of yellow ochre in here. You just have to keep adapting your paint to keep up with it. So yeah, liking that bit. This bit we're going to do all of these sculpture-y bits later on. We're not going to try and do them exactly because that's going to, unless you wanted to. It could take quite a long time. Right in there. And then we've definitely got a dark around here. So I'm going to mix it up dark. So I'm going to do the yellow into there, the red, touch of blue. Let's just check that. That's not bad. So don't worry if you paint over some things because you are going to add to them later on. Now this bit, that's quite nice because this is like a ledge and it sticks out. So that's the shadow. We've got another one there. Yep. We've got a kind of a door here. And I'm now just going to put in this colour like that. Okay, and then I am going to put these bits in now actually. It goes from lighter to darker, so I'm going to start with the lighter areas, which is more like this. And it's like a ledge there, doorstep, and then it goes a little bit darker. So I can add a bit darker. I'm going a little bit blue because it is a bit more greeny, a bit like the other side. Right there. Oh, too much. Too much. Never mind. I'm not mixing my colour up thick enough, you see. Now, the good thing is about landscapes is that, you know, you can change the colours a little bit. You can get away with quite a lot on a landscape, I think. Portraits are a different matter, but landscapes you can get away with quite a lot. Right, I'm actually going to leave that for now and have a look at it. And I shall... Okay, so now I'm going to mix up this kind of yellowy colour. I'm going to add white and yellow. Kind of changes, it goes from a nice lemon colour. That's not bad actually. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I quite like that. And it gets darker at the top. Now sometimes with lighter areas, it's good to put 2 coats of paint on. So to really strengthen your colour. Like that. I always get really excited about putting the lighter colours on. So there we go. I'm using my round brush this time because I want to have a little bit more definition, like a line. So there we go, there's that light lemon there. And of course it comes down to this bit, which is still light. Yeah, I've got a bit too much paint on the brush there. So I'll bring it down. I'm going around that lamp and paint this lemon in here. Yeah, so hopefully it will look as though, it'll look as though it's in the sunshine. Once we get that white on the building and the sun's reflecting, I'll put lemon in there. And of course that comes right out. And then oh yeah, then we've got a gap, but funny enough I've got a slight gap. And then I've got this window. I think I've drawn that a little bit wrong, but who's gonna know? Like that. Yeah, and then it gets darker, so I'm going to mix this dark into there now. So I'm going to add a little bit of red and a little bit more yellow. I'll just check this. That's not bad. It might need to be a little bit darker. But like I say, it's just trial and error. You just have to try it. Yeah. That might be a little bit too much red, so I'll add a little bit more yellow. So all you're doing is, keep adding or taking away. Now I'm just gonna. Okay, oh yeah, so I was mixing up the darker yellow. I'm just gonna tone that down. It's a bit bright. If you want to tone a colour down like that, just add a little bit of blue. Yeah, so this shadow comes over here, down there. Now, if you find this brush too thick, you can always use you should have a really fine brush in your pack. So you can use that one for more detail. Just underneath there's a bit of shadow. Right, I'm actually going to use this for the whole of this. Look how many different shades we've got in there now. Lovely. I'm really excited to see what the blue sky and the white of the buildings is going to look like. Block that in. So just make it all really stand out again. Right. Can't see anywhere else with this lemony colour at the moment. I might have under here. Yeah. Right, so now there's a lemon colour in there as well. You can actually put that in. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to mix up my white. Now, I'm actually just going to go straight for white and look at it, see what it looks like, because I think it is white. I'm just going to block this bit in first. Just going to use my rounder brush. Oh, that's lovely. You might need to put 2 coats of this on. Oh, right, that comes right up to there, so I'm going to have to go over that. That's the nice thing about acrylics, is you can do that. You can keep layering up. Now, I know we've got this drain pipe in, but I'm going to put that in later on. That's like my detailed stuff. Yep, so that white comes down. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Again, more white. So underneath here. I'm hoping we can start to see a sense of depth with this. Now looking at that, I'm actually thinking it does need to have a slight bit of cream in that white, just to warm it up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's better. Maybe white just needs to have a little bit of yellow in. Right, so there's a shadow there. And there's a shadow underneath there that I've missed, so I will have to come back to that. But what I do is once I've got it all in, and then I start and look again. That's more of a creamy white in there. So I'll put that in. Just spend hours painting. Well, I do. Nice thing about painting is you don't think about anything else. You switch off. Sometimes it's nice to have music on. I sometimes have an audio book on. And just lovely ways to spend your day. And you've got something at the end of it. Right, I'm carry on with this white. Just there. Creamy white, yeah, right around that lamp, underneath there. Oh, there's a shadow there I can see, so I'm actually just going to leave that and darken that up a little bit. There is a little bit of a gap in, so I'll put that in. Alright, now we've got a shadow there. And then that comes down to there. Right, okay. So the whole bottom half is really quite a bit darker, more grey. Yep. Where else? I've got a little kind of this curtain's quite white. Okay. So now I need to put an obvious shadow in, so I'm just going to add, it's like a grey colour, so I'm going to add a little bit of blue, just a little bit of brown, a little bit of umber. A bit more. I always add too much. And let's see what that looks like. I'll just check it as it's on. Oh, that's not too bad actually. So that's a little bit of shadow on that building. Yeah, that throws a shadow over there. This is a shadow in here. And then I'm going to take time to just have a little bit of a look at it. It's dead important to just, really important to just get back from your work every now and then and have a fresh look. I think I'm going a bit bluey there, but I quite like that colour. So we'll see what it looks like. Okay, it's getting there. Well, I've got a bit of blue. I'm actually going to block in the sky because I might need to put, I might need to do another colour over that as well. Right, white and blue. It's a lovely, it was a gorgeous, hot Palma day. So it does need to be a really nice bright blue. Let's just see right there. Ooh, lovely. So I will need to put on another layer over this blue. Yeah. Oops, got a bit of green there, but I still only want green. It's right in here. Right, we've got this cream in here, which all needs blocking in. So I'm going to put that in now. Oops, too much yellow. Just going to tone it down. That's shadow. Yeah, because this is shadow here. So kind of getting rid of all this orange. Far too grey with that. I need to put it more down. Now that shadow needs to be a lot more pronounced than that. So I'm actually need a little bit of blue in there. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's not enough that shadow. That's a better shadow. And I'll take the same colour, and this goes down here. Okay. Right, I'm going to do one bit on the ground. I'm going to mix up white. White and probably a little bit of umber actually. Yeah, it's not bad. No, I think it needs to be a little bit lighter. Maybe a little touch of red. I'll just paint over around because I'm going to paint that on later on. Now things like when we paint shadows on these figures, shadows just underneath, that's going to really make them, really bring the painting out. It's a 3D approach. I'm just painting over both of their legs. I can still actually see them through the paint, so I know where they are. Oh, no, a little bit. It's a better colour. Right, so I'm going to have a break in a moment because it's important to have breaks when you're painting. You're concentrating quite a lot really. So it's important to just step back every now and then. Go away from it and come back and have a fresh look. So I'm quite happy with that as far as blocking in goes. I've still got a lot of orange to go over, but yeah, that's okay. Back soon. Okay, so I've just got some areas of orange left. Actually, I'm going to use the round brush. I'm just going to block those in. So I've got a door there, so a little bit white, a bit of yellow, a bit of red, just to make this orangey colour, and I'm just going to dull it down with a bit of brown. And I'll just check that colour. Yeah, that's not bad. So I'll get that, I'll block that door in. Yep, and then I've got, let's have a look, the two lamps. So I'm going to mix up, like a greyish colour. So blue and a bit of brown. Let's just check that. That's not bad. Maybe a little bit more brown actually. Just make that nice colour for the lamp. Yeah, just block that in because remember I'm going to put the detail over the top. So that's that lamp there. This lamp, oh, it's a lot lighter than that. I need light. As you can see, my palette is in a constant mess, but it doesn't matter. If it gets that bad, you can always wash your palette. I've also got that lamp there. Now I've got a little bit down here. Now this looks like, let's have a look. We've got a little bit of this cream here, so I'll put a bit of yellow in. A bit of white and a bit of yellow. Add a little bit of that to tone it down. Just in there where I've missed it. And then this is quite a dark green here. So I shall put that in. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it is a dark green shape, so I better put that in. Right. I need to get my fine brush out soon, but before I do that, I'm actually, while I'm on the light layer, I'm actually going to just put, with a cream, a very little bit of yellow in my white. And I'm just going to put a little bit more, I'm just going to put another layer over the white, so it really stands out and it's not streaky. Yeah, that's much more solid colour. Yeah, just here. I think when you start on detail, you have to really take your time with building it off. There's no rush for this. Okay. That's better, just a bright white on there. I think I've gone a bit too yellow there. This is the magic of painting, you know, you can do it a bit again if you're not pleased. So that's quite light, that's light. I don't think I've got this bit of my drawing quite right, but I'm just going with it anyway. So that's just made that a lot thicker. And I'm actually going to thicken this up as well a little bit where this is a curtain. That's better. Now then, I have got some ochre bits in there, so I'm going to add white, yellow. Go back to the ochre. Now, even though this palette's got loads and loads of paints on, it will still wash. But I have to normally, I'll just scrape it off and then put colours over the top. A little bit lazy. So there we go. So that's ochre in there. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, this is like this is that drain pipe. So anywhere else where there's orange, don't think so, because we're going to use a small brush next. Oh, maybe in there. Well, actually it's lighter in there. Oh, I've got brown going on in here, so I want a bit brown to this. Just in there. Slightly light version of that bit. A little bit of shadow under there. I'll just map that in. Okay. I'm just going to add in this one bit, this dark bit in here, and then I think we are ready. And I'm adding green and brown for that. I think it's like a greeny brown. With just some green I already have. So what I'm going to do is just put that in. And then I'm going to get my really fine brush and I'm going to show you how to start and detail up. But I've really enjoyed doing this bit. Okay, so that is all for now, and I'm just going to... Okay, so the next stage I'm actually wanting to do dark detailing. So if you look across this corrugated roof there, so I'm going to just add these. I've got my fine brush there. These are called Conda brushes and they're brilliant for fine detail, so I use these quite a lot. I think that actually they were made at one time for nail art, you know, like really detailed studies, so but I find them great. All my students now use these. So brown and blue, I'm going to mix up a dark with that, and you can get quite a fine line. Now I don't want, if you put on your paint really thick, you'll end up with it'll just go blobby. So we actually need to add a little bit more water at this stage. So, and remember, I still want it to look like a painting. I don't want it to look, you know, like a photograph. So I'm just going to start, and I'm just going to start and add in just these. It's just a little corrugated, looks like a little corrugated roof. Slightly thicker than that. Yeah. I'm just moving my brush. Sorry, probably getting in the way of the camera again. Yeah, and I'm just going to put in a little straight line under there, if I can. Again, with just a little bit of water. Oh, that's too much water. Oops, I'm just dragging it across there. I don't want my paint too thick. This bit as well, I need this putting in. Now I'm going to add a little bit of water to that because it's not really dark. Yeah, so I'm going to sharpen that up over the blue. Like that. And it goes. Okay, so I'm going to continue. What I'm going to do is just put in the dark details. Now then, I've got things like there. I've got this like drain pipe. Oh, I'm getting a bit too thin in the corner. A little bit white, a little bit brown. It's a bit too brown. A little bit blue. So too light. So I'll add a little bit of yellow. A bit red. Okay. I'm going to see what this brush is like, but it might be too thick. So that comes from a down there, goes across. Oh, I brought it too far because that actually goes in front of that shutter there. And I'm just dragging my brush. Yep. Yep. I'm just going to work my way across the painting. Just see how I get on with it. So I've mixed up kind of a darkish kind of ochre colour like that. Oh. So there's an angle going up there that I'm going to put in. And then there's another kind of, looks like another guttering pipe or drain pipe or something coming down there. So I'm just going to put that in. Can you hear my hand dragging against the board? Yeah, there's a couple of other little ledges in there. Okay. Yeah, so we've got another one in there. So this all helps. Detail all helps. You know, it's whether you want, if you want a really like photographic, photorealism, they call it, painting, that's fine as well. Sometimes I do that, but then it's going to take you a long time to do. And this one, I kind of still want a painted effect. Now we've got these sculptures on here. Now then, we're just going to give an effect of it. So I've mixed up a darkish shade of that. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to look where the darks are. There's a bit there. There's a bit round here. So I'm just putting in the shapes. Yep, there. I have no idea what this is. It's some sort of lovely sculptural decoration in the building. So I'm just picking up where I'm just using my brush and just kind of doing shapes, you know. And when you look at some famous works of art, you look at them closely and think, oh, it's just really simple shapes. I remember going to a gallery when I was younger And just thinking, oh, when you get close up to them, they're so much simpler than what you think. So it's giving an effect. I'm just seeing a line in there which is going to help me. Yep. Now this, there is dark in there, so I'm going to put it in. Yeah. So what we're doing now is we're just tightening up. Tightening up detail, we're just putting in dark detail really. So when we put in light detail, we're going to put things in like the shutters, we're going to put some lighter lines in. This bit up here then, yeah, I'm just going to make that colour a bit more solid. Oh, we need to put some colour up there as well. You see, we're going to put these shutter lines in, but at the minute I'm just going to put the darks in. I don't know if you can see there, just in between the shutters, I'm just going to put in, I'm just going to pick them up. Okay. There's a bit more in there. Okay. Yeah, these are actually, there are dark stripes in these ones, so I will put them in. Don't need to be too careful. I'll just go right up to that line though. Yep. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of ochre shading in here as well, because I don't think I've put that in strong enough. Just put a little more in there. And then we've got this shadow in here. Just that 3D effect. And then there's kind of another, I'm just going to put a line there for that shadow. I am going to put a little bit of lighter areas around there. Now then, a bit of shadow under there. Yeah. Just under there. All of these things help. Slight dark in there. So I'm just working my way around it now. Right, I've got a darker line in here. So I've got a really dark green line in there. Add a bit of blue and yellow on that. Just carefully not smudging anything. So yeah, just in there, just next to that shutter. I haven't done that particularly straight, but alright. This still needs going over, I don't think it's dark enough. So we've got a drain pipe there. A little bit more brown in there. And I'm having this a little bit watery now because these are quite fine details. So the mistake that people make is they do it too thick. They do the paint too thick. So this comes all the way down. behind that shadow. And then it comes all the way down. Yeah, it goes right over there. And I'm trying to keep my line straight as best I can. And it actually comes all the way down to her head. Yep. We've got the lamp, which has a little bit of detail on. There we go, we'll put that in. It's got a couple of light details as well, I've noticed, so I need to put those. Okay. I feel some of these darker areas need a little bit more going over. Now then, oops. This area here, before I put my lights on, I'm going to have to darken it back up again slightly. So, like I say, acrylic, it's too thin that brush. Acrylic paint is all about layers, layering up. And like I say, the nice thing is it dries quick. So these dark areas, I don't feel as though I've gone dark enough. Put a bit of red in there, darken it. That's better. So these shutters I feel as though need to be actually quite dark. So I'm not even going right up to the edge on this one. I'm not that bothered. I'm just trying to block the middle paint in. And when I put my lights in, I'll be able to distinguish that there are two shutters there, and this one needs filling in a bit as well. Now at this stage, you know, some people like to leave a painting like this with big shapes, and yeah, why not? You know, you can do that, or you might just want to carry on, just put in a bit more detail. You know, and a lot of artists say, you know, you need to think about when to stop, and it is true, because you can overwork a painting. I've had a lot of experience in overworking paintings, and yeah, but this one I'm quite happy. I still feel as though it needs a little bit more detail, so I'm going to keep going with it. I think the main ones that I've overworked are watercolours. They're very easy to oops, I didn't mean to get all of that. They are very easy to overwork. And people, you know, a lot of people have said, so what do you paint in then? How did you start painting? I said, oh, watercolour. Oh, right, okay. Because watercolour is actually the hardest thing, really, that you can start with, believe it or not. That's the one people start with. So I admire people who can successfully work with watercolour. I do like doing watercolours, but I just find them the most difficult out of acrylics, oils or watercolours. Okay, I'm just going to actually, the more I'm looking at this, you see, and your eyes flip from one bit to the next, and it's just sharpening up, being happier with it. I've just noticed a couple of things, like down there, that line needs sharpening up. Yeah, so I don't want to paint over the whole thing, you know, but I do want to just tighten some areas up. Okay. There are other darker areas because I've got some lines going up here, there, and the figures. Yeah, so I'll carry on with that. So we've got, let's have a look, so my blue and my brown, again, a little bit more watery now. And I'm just going to, I've got these wires here, I've got something coming down here. don't quite know what that is, but I better put it in. Some sort of, something going on there. We've got these thin wires here. Now if you've got a heavy hand and you're finding that difficult, you know, there's nothing wrong with using a pen. Could use a pen. Some pens go over canvas but some don't. We've got these little things as well. You just notice that comes off there a little bit. Yeah, there's something that comes over there. There's something that comes off the roof. So just underneath this curtain there's something going on there. And we've got some sort of pole going on. Actually, and where the garage is, it's a bit more dark underneath it. Should I wait for that bit to dry? Okay, so those are the dark details. Any more? Oh, there's some shadows in there, I just noticed. Just in there. Remember, it all adds up to this 3D quality. Yeah. I think that light in there just needs see how I still quite like these little bits of orange peeking through there. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now as the darker areas, and I'm going to come back and add some lights and see how that looks. Okay, I'm going to put in, before I put these figures in, I'm going to put in a couple of light areas. I've got a few on these shutters, so I'm actually, it looks like it's quite a light yellowy green. I'm going to add some light to that yellow. A bit of blue. Too much yellow, I think. I've just had a look at it in a frame that I've got, and you know, putting a frame on it just makes such a massive difference. So when it's done, I will show you. Or even putting a mount on it will just make a difference. So a little bit of water, because I don't want my paint too thick, remember, if I'm doing detail. Yeah, so I've got just some stripes there. Now trust me, I'm not going to start and count the, you know, count the number of shutter lines there are. I'm just going to put in an effect as though these are. Oh, that's a bit too watery now, it's almost like watercolour. So this is, I'm hoping this just looks at where the lights hit them, because I think that just looks lovely now where the sun's creeping around here. This lovely blue sky onto the white buildings. And now we've got this shutter sort of smaller, more close together. And we try and create a sense of perspective sometimes by, you know, doing them physically smaller, near towards the, what would be the vanishing point in the middle. And we've even got some lighter bits on this one as well. I'm going to do a little bit, yeah, just on here. So I'm just going to put in a few lines. Yep. Yeah, so what I've got here is, I've got a line going right across like that at an angle. Same there. So these are like the shadows of the shutter underneath. Ah, I see. And at the end of the day, painting is just shapes. Shapes and colours. Shapes and colours. Right, I'm actually going to, a bit more of a, probably got a bit light there, but I can see that. On here we've got a couple of really light lines. I shall put a few, I don't know if the greeny colour or whether they're more blue. Where's my white there? If your paint gets too thick, it's because you've got too much paint on your brush. Just watery layers. So where was I doing? Oh yeah, in here. And again, this will just give a little bit of a sense of perspective. Because these lines will come down. Yeah, they'll kind of follow this. You see what I mean? So everything kind of goes in like that. What else? Oh, I've got these windows in here on this door frame. I'll block that in. Yeah, that's good. A little bit lighter on that lamp, I think, somewhere. And definitely lighter in here. I need to put some dark lines on that lamp. Now then, these shutters, I just want some really quite watery but light green. So I'm just going to give it a go. I'm just wondering if this is actually a little bit too thick. That's fine, and I'm barely touching the surface. I'm almost where my brush has split hairs. Kind of using that to my advantage. Yeah, quite happy with that. Yep. I know artists who cuts a load of, or actually cuts the brushes. You know, so they've just got a couple of hairs left. Why not, I suppose. Like that, and then there we've got, so I'm just flicking. Yeah, and this needs to be more greeny colour. Maybe a bit too green. Yeah, like that. And I've got another green in there. I'm not happy with this colour in here. I'm going to have to lighten it up. So I'm going to go for a bit of light and a little bit of yellow ochre, I think. Just a touch of red. Let's just see what that... Oh, that's better. I was just looking, thinking it's not quite right. So often when you do a piece of work yourself, you can always see the mistakes in it. It's like, are you ever happy? When is the time to put the brush down? Well, that is a very good question. I'm just going to put in a couple more. See, I'm fussing now. Up here. Yeah, and just see a few of these shapes. Like that. So satisfying putting the detail in. Just a little corrugated roof there, I noticed. This I think does need to be darker, so I'm actually going to mix up the dark greeny, better add some brown, tone it down, like that, because I do think that it is darker than we think. A bit more water. Yeah. Okay. Right, I'm going to put these figures in. I mean, there are things like tiny little railings and stuff over there. I'll see what that looks like. I will put these. Sorry, I'm telling a lie. I will do the figures in a moment. Yeah, and we need to do that lamp coming out of there. Yep. Okay, so with the shutters, these ones, we do actually have shutters along here. Yeah. So I'm just putting the effective shutters, and this is slightly, I'm just going to add a bit green. This is slightly lighter, so I'm going to put a light shade in there. And then I've got, let's have a look, yeah, this is like a green shade right across there. Not quite light enough, a little bit lighter. You can never get it just right. And you just have to keep looking, checking. Now I can see that there are some lighter areas on here, so I'm going to have to put that in. I do need a little bit of yellow in there, a little bit of red. It's a bit too bright, so a bit of brown. I'm surprised, I mean, these paints have lasted me really all day, and I'm really surprised, because sometimes if you're sat in warm weather, which it is now, they can dry out, but actually these acrylics have behaved very, very well. I'm very, very pleased, because once they're dried, not like watercolour, once dried, unfortunately, that is it. So what some people do is they make themselves a stay wet palette. And what you can do to that is you can, just for future reference, is you can get a bit of like paper towel, kitchen towel, and spray it with water. And if you put that onto, I'm just lighting this up, if you put that onto your palette and put a piece of baking, you know, baking parchment over the top, your colours, your paint should stay wet, really, for quite a while, at least all day. So I'm just fussing about now before I get on with my figures. Right. This is more lemony. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for now while I get ready to do my figures. Okay, Okay, so I'm going to tackle these figures. I'm going to go back to my round brush, and I need some white. In fact, I might have to get a little bit more white. My palette's getting a little bit messy now. So this is her top, and in fact I would say it's more of a blue-white, that top. Yeah, I've got some nice white in there. I'm just going to add, you know, you can get a cool white or a yellowy white. I would say this is a cool white. So I'm just going to jot that in. And remember, I don't want exact people. It's too hard to do that. Now there is a little bit figure in the background, so I'll just put this, all I can see is a shape like that, of the white. Right, that's it. So then I'm going to darken that up. I'm going to add a little bit of grey. Now I've already got this colour, which might actually be fine. Yeah, that's not bad. And then I'll just jot that in. Like that. And then a little bit of grey there. Right, so then the next thing, remember it's all about illusions. So the next thing is his head. So I'm going to add a bit of brown, a bit of blue to make this dark, and a little bit of red. I don't want him to have blue hair because he hasn't. I might want blue hair. So we've got blue and black. Sorry, not black, we're not using black. But we've got something like that there for his dark. Right, and he's got a really dark top on. So I'm going to put that on, and his shorts actually. And his shorts, and he's got a sleeve sticking out. Okay, happy with that? Right, she's got these, like I said, I don't know whether it's dungarees or backpack, but I'm going to put that in. And then we've got another person there who's got dark hair, so I'll block that in. And then we need to make this flesh colour, but it's quite dark because they're really in the shadow of the building. So I'm going to mix up, to make the flesh colour, I normally add white, a yellow, a red, not too much red, a little bit of blue to tone it down, and just check it. Might need to be a little bit duller than that because they're in shadow. So I'm just going to put in a little bit on the back of her neck there, a little bit on his neck, these figures in the background, and she's got an arm coming across, so yeah. And he's holding hands with his, I might have to get the little brush actually. I'm not doing very well with that one. So white, that's a bit better. Probably not going white in. No, I've gone too light. I think it's at this stage of paint you can just carry on and on and on. But I like this stage of paint. There we go, that's better. So then her arm comes out, it's just a shape, and there we go. This arm, again, comes out because she's holding his hand. So we'll do his arm there, and just a little bit of his arm. Right, then we've got the legs. So the legs, just shapes, we just want a simple shape, nothing too, you know, you can do the shape of the calves in if you want, like that, and there we go, and his leg, like that. Just look at where it comes down onto the board, especially if you've painted over it. Yeah, I'm just going to make that neck a bit lighter, don't know what I've done there, and I'm going to go on really dark again with the hair. I haven't done it enough, I don't think. Yeah, that's better. So it's just sharpening up those shapes. And then they have both got white shoes on, but because he's lifted his foot up, he's got a little bit of shadow underneath. That's like that. Yep, okay. We've got these, I don't know what these figures here, she's carrying something like a big bag, but we have got the feet here. Okay. We have also, I've noticed, the more you look at this, the more you see these lines going across, which actually creates, there was something in the path which gives us quite a nice perspective effect. So just put them roughly where you think they are. Yeah, there's one coming out here. A couple of little ones. And when we went to this place, it was absolutely gorgeous. There was no muck anywhere. It was lovely, clean. The sun helped, of course. Right, so I need to put a little bit of white in for the shoes, but not bright white. Like a grey. Yeah. I'm just putting a blob in. That's all it needs, really. You know that they're figures. This dark, his colour comes up more than like I had it there. Oh, I quite like that. Just slightly lighter there. I'll just add a little bit lighter there. And I just need to lighten up her fresh colour there. Just putting a little bit of fresh tones there. As though they're looking up. Could be looking up at the church, because she was on the way to the church. And, oh, I've lost his arm. I'm going to put that in a little bit darker. No, darker still. Sometimes it looks okay in the palette when you see it, and then it just doesn't look like anything else. So his legs under here are a little bit darker. A bit sunburned, no? Same there. Okay. And she's just got a ponytail coming out. Like that. Yeah, it just comes down the back. Right. So, I think the only thing is underneath that lamp, just as I'm doing this, I've just noticed a couple of things. This lamp does have a little bit of detail in there, as it comes out. Same in there. You could just go on with this forever, really. I'm just going to sharpen up those wires on there. Okay, and sharpen up this edge because I'm not happy with that. I'm just going to use this brush. Yeah, just put the next one on there. Yeah, so now what I need to do now is I'm actually going to leave it to dry. Yeah, I mean acrylics don't take long to dry, but I'm actually going to leave it to dry. It's overnight, so tomorrow come back, have another, make sure haven't missed anything. I'm quite happy with it, and then we're on to the last stage, which is another lovely stage because it lifts all your colours back out, is varnishing. And how to apply varnish. Okay. I've missed a bit. These panes in here, I've just realised, and that will annoy me. So I'm just going to put in lighter on this one, just in squares. Yeah, that's better. And I need to use my square brush with really quite a light lemon yellow. I'm going to wash my palette after this. Light lemon, and that kind of goes right in there like that. Oh, sometimes your brush just creates a shape for you. See if I can. Yeah, that's it. Right, so I will now, I'm quite happy with that. Check it in the morning, see if I'm happy, and if not, I'll make a few amendments.